the grade 7 mathematics class. And yesterday we wrote our tests, and I hope that you wrote very well. And this morning, well, I know that some of you sent me a message very late in the evening trying to understand what should be done about some of the questions, and I hope that I've responded positively to most of your messages. And today, this morning, I just want us to go through the test and just to realize that we wrote, this is what we had, and then I want us to, you will get your results in due course, but I want us to just go through all the questions that we had yesterday. You'll recall that this was the first question, which carried 4 marks. And all that you needed to do here was to calculate the value of each and every product that we have, A, B, and C. Angelina Dube, welcome. Right, let's carry on now. We have the first one, A, where we had to multiply -5 by -5. -5 times -5. Yes, this is the one. Dube Mudehi. I know in the test you had to choose. It was in the form of multiple choice, and then you had to choose some of the questions. And of course, in this case, it's a different format, but in the multiple choice, you just had to, you had the correct answers and you had to choose from the correct answers. But this morning, what we do, we are calculating -5 times -5. Can we carry on now? Today, what is -5 times -5? -5 times -5. Remember, when you multiply a negative number, when you multiply a negative number by a negative number, you will always get a positive number. Don't forget that. So when you multiply, yes, great. Mudian says the answer will be positive 25. Remember that when you multiply negative by negative, you definitely get a positive number there. Right. Can we proceed to the next one, which is 6 times -2? Six times -2. Right, Mudir says this will be -12, and then of course, because 6 multiplied by 2 is 12. And then of course, if you multiply 6 by 2, you get 12. But remember that the 12, the 2 is negative, and of course, it will lead to a positive answer. All right, so all right. Now the third one is -b times -b. The next one, of course, if you multiply, I see Fizana says 6 or 0. Right, we are now busy with C, Fizana. Right, the minus B multiplied by minus B will be, remember that we are now multiplying a negative number by a negative number. And remember that if you multiply a negative number with a negative number or a negative a symbol with a negative symbol, you'll possibly get the positive symbol. So B squared will be the actual answer there because you are multiplying 2 powers with the same base, and all that you need to do is to add the exponents. So this is what we do going forth. I hope that it makes sense as we proceed to the next one. In this case, I gave you a rule, and then this is the rule that I said you need to, in fact, I gave you the different sequences, and then I said to you, you need to give a rule between the numbers and the sequences, and thereafter ensure that you give me the next 3 terms. Right, 3, 7, 11, 15. These are the sequences. And of course, 3, 7, 11, 15, and the next one, we just need to find the correct values. And then, of course, 1923 is what Fizana has got. And then I see you also have 99. We probably did this in some of our revisions when we revised yesterday. The rule here is that you plus 4. And then once you plus 4, because 3 plus 4 gives you 7, and then 7 plus 4 is 11. In the same note, 11 and 4, if you add 4 there, you get 15. So the rule is plus 4. And then the next 3 terms, Fizana says the next one will be 19 and then followed by 23. I agree with you, Fizana, but you only gave me 2. What is the last one? Fizana, you gave me only 2 terms. Can you give me the last one, please? Right, 27 will be the correct answer there. I fully agree with you, Fizana. 27 will be the correct answer there. Now can we proceed to B, please? In B, we have a sequence as well. We just have to find the sequence, the next 3 terms, but firstly, the rule. Let's find the rule. Let us start by finding the rule. The rule is very clear. The rule is very clear. In the second one, you can see that we are now subtracting 5 because if you subtract 5 from 120, you get 115 as the answer. And then in the same note, if you subtract 105 from 115, you get 110. And then if you subtract 5 from 110, you get 105 and so on. And if you subtract 5 from 105, you definitely get 100. So the next term, what will be the next term? Yes, B 100, what billion, the Humo says 100, followed by the next one, 95 years, and then 90. Angelina Dube says 195 and 90. Yes, great. Quickly, let us now go to the last one, which is C. Let us go to C. Let's go to C, 2, 4, 8, and 16. What's the rule? What is the rule? What is the rule? Right, Angelina Dube says the rule says that you multiply by 2. Great, Angelina Dube, I agree with you. Your answer is followed by the pattern from Bipelo N, and Bipelo says you add now to the pattern at 32, 64, 128. And Bipelo also says you double. Great, Bipelo, I like the way double, that is what you do. You double the number. Huapili also says the next term will be 32, followed by 64, followed by 128. Great. We are on track. And then we come to the different one now where we need to calculate the perimeter. Remember, I spoke about the perimeter at length. I said that the perimeter is the distance around the edge of the shape. So the distance around the edge, just like in a soccer field, if you want to know or want to run some 100 meters, if the length is 100 meters and the breadth is 50, then you know that the total perimeter there will definitely be 300 meters because you have to add all of them. 50 times 2, which is 100, and 100 times 2, which is 200. So simply put, you walk around the field on the edge, and that distance around the edge of the field is known as the perimeter. So in this case, 2.1, I want us to now calculate the perimeter with the length 1,5 centimeters. Can we calculate the perimeter there? Right. Remember, if you want, in this case, we are talking about a square, remember? This is a square, and then always remember that, in a square, all sides are equal. Therefore, all 4 sides will definitely be equal. I've given you one side, which is 1,5 centimeters. Now you can use that to find the perimeter. All 4 sides are equal in a square. All right. Mudir says, I do not understand. I want you to calculate the perimeter. Do you remember I gave you the formula for the perimeter? Let me write it in the, all right, Minaz Sali has already given us the answer there, but I wanted to say the perimeter of the square is given by the formula P is equal to 4S. Now, the side is given as 1,5 centimeter, or centimeters rather. And so what you need to do is just to multiply it by the 4. Remember that I said 4S, and then if the side is 1,5 centimeters, then you need to know that you will multiply that by 4 in order to get 6. So Minaz is correct when Minaz says the answer will be 6 centimeters. And I hope that you can see in the group chat, how do we calculate this perimeter? How did I find the perimeter? How did I find the perimeter? And of course, the perimeter there will be 6 centimeters. So 6 centimeters will definitely be the perimeter. Right. Right. Now we have to carry on to the next question, where we need to calculate now the area of the square. So this is the same square that we are talking about. It has the same length. The length of a square there is 1,5 centimeters. 1,5, 1.5. 1.5 centimeter there. Can we find the area rather? Right, Mudehi says 2,25. Right, Mudehi, if you can just tell me, how did you find 2,25? If you can just explain, excuse me, I'll be happy if you can explain how did you find the 2,25. I'll be very happy. That's the correct answer, by the way, Mudehi. That answer is correct. That is the correct answer, but I just want you to demonstrate how did you find that. Right. Minaz Sali says 2,25 as well. Right. Obviously, remember that when you calculate the area of any particular square, you should know by now that the area is given by the A is equal to S times S. Fizana also agrees. With all of us that you have to now multiply the side by the side. And of course, A in this case will be equal to 1,5 multiplied by 1,5. And of course, this will be 2,25. Right, Minas, I fully agree with you. Minas Sali says you multiply the length by the breadth. I fully agree with you. Although the length times breadth applies a lot in the rectangle, when it is a square, since all the sides are equal, then you might as well multiply the length by the length. That's why in the other side I said A is equal to side multiplied by side. So if you don't want to say side times side, you can say length times length. So in other words, A will be equal to length multiplied by the length. Sorry about that. So if you don't want to use a side, you can use length. Remember, the length is equal in a square. Therefore, it is the same, which is 1,5 multiplied by 1,5. Can we proceed now to the next one? Calculate the area of a rectangle with where the length is 8 meters and the breadth is 4 meters. Now we are coming to your equation. Now we are coming to your equation, Minas, the formula that you just gave us. Now you need to use it to find the area. Right, let's carry on. Let's carry on. Minas says 32 meters there. And I fully agree with you, Minas. But I see you wrote only the answer. The same goes for Fizana. Please don't always write an answer. Make sure that you demonstrate how did you find the answer. For instance, the first step might be to demonstrate that the area that we're talking about, the formula for that area is A is equal to L multiplied by B. So length times breadth. You can write it in full if you want. A is equal to length multiplied by the breadth. All right. So you may as well write the formula in full, and the length is, Minas has just demonstrated, the length is 8 meters, and of course the breadth is 4 meters. So if you multiply 8 by 4, you get 32 square meters. Remember, Angelina Dube, I see you wrote 32 meters. So not just meters, it is square meters. Remember, you multiply meters by meters there. So definitely that should be the square meters. I hope that it now makes a lot of sense. You multiply the square meters, the meter by meter there to get a square meter. All right, so that's how you proceed. Let's go now to 2.3, where we need to now calculate the perimeter of the rectangle, where the length is 8 meters and the breadth is 4 meters. That's 2.4 rather. And Minas is now saying that 24 meters will be the answer now. Minas Sali, thank you very much for putting in the answer there. Minas is correct. You are correct, Minas, when you say that 24 meters will be the final answer. But the key question now is, how do you find that answer now? Or how did you find the answer? Minas? If you can just demonstrate how did you find the answer, I'll be happy. In mathematics, it's very important to show the steps. You need to show the steps of how do you find the answer. Right. I hope that Minas is demonstrating that. Minas says 8 plus 8 plus 4 plus 4. Great. you may as well add all the sides. But remember that in any given uh, rectangle, you might as well define your perimeter by saying that the perimeter is equal to 2 open bracket L plus B. Minus L times B simply means the area. When you are doing the area, then you will have to now multiply the length with the breadth. Of course, the perimeter there is 2. Why do we have 2? Why do we have 2 multiplied by the length plus the breadth? Who can tell me? Who can tell me? Who can tell me? Why do, okay, as Minas says, because there are 4 sides. Great, there are 4 sides. Yes, there are 4 sides. There will be 2 lengths and 2 breadths. So the length is equal to the opposite length and the breadth is also equal to its opposite. Hence we multiply everything by 2 there. And then of course you add them together and then you multiply the sum there by 2 in order to get to the final answer there. So definitely we have up to now been able to look at this particular work in relation to the work that we wrote yesterday. And I'm just going to zoom into the 4th one now, where I also gave you some multiple choice, but I want us to look at this particular question. Jacob is 17 years old and is 5 years older than his brother. I want you to write a formula just to express the relationship between the ages of Jacob and his brother. That is A. So meaning that you just have to put in the algebraic expression which will show the relationship between the age of Jacob and that of his brother. So when you are given a question of this nature, you need to be able to analyze it in that fashion. How are you going to write the algebraic expression? Right, and then of course I see Minas says you just subtract 5 from 17, but I don't see any variable there. Can you express this in the form of a variable as well? I see, yes, you are right. When you subtract 5 from 17, what do you get now? What do you get? What do you get? You get 12. But what would be the expression now? How would you put this in the form of an expression? How do you find the answer there? Let the variable be x. Please use it in the form of x. Where are you going to put x now? If you start with 17, okay, so you are saying 17 minus 5 is 12. Great. Angelina Dube, you're right. 17 minus 5 is 12. But in the form of x, you might as well put 17. And then even if you minus x, for instance, you will definitely get a 5, for instance. You'll definitely get 5. This is one of the equations. I'm sure you remember we once did this before. I said that there are many ways in which you can be able to locate your algebraic expression. And of course, I've done it in one way now. If you want, you may write it in a different way. For instance, you can also say that 17 is equal to x plus 5. You see? Now you can also say 17 minus x is equal to 5, or alternatively, you can say 17 is equal to x plus 5. That's if you prefer it that way. And of course, you might also say 5 is equal to 17 minus x. So basically, you can write it in different ways. But at the end of the day, when you calculate the value of x, it will definitely give you the age of the brother. So the age of the brother, because it's an unknown age, we put it as an x value there. So you might as well find a way to get back to that, just to ensure that you put it accordingly. Now let's go to B. How old will Jacob's brother be when Jacob turns 21 years old? Minas says 16. How do you get 16? Can you show me, Minas, how did you get 16? Okay, Lo Shoka says 16 as well. How did you get the 16? Pipilo says 25 minus 5. Great. 25 minus 5 will give you 16. I agree with you. Kawel as well agrees with Minas, saying that 25 minus 5, in fact, 21 minus 5 is 16. Bipilo says it's 21. All right, so are you saying Jacob's brother will be 21? Leshoka, no, it's Junior. All right, Junior. Oh, yes, Junior, I hear what you're saying. Now I understand. I see your phone now. It's a different name. Thank you, Junior. Junior got it right. And I'm still worried about what Bipilo says. Bipilo says it's 21. Oh, I see what you mean, Bipilo. Thank you very much. Exactly. So it will be 21 minus 5. Yes, great. And then Huapili and Luhumo also agree. They also agree that the answer will be 16 rather. 21 minus 5 gives you 16. Great. Now, I want us to just to simplify C there. Let's simplify these equations. Let's simplify. Let us rather simplify. A plus B plus 2A plus B. Let's simplify. How would you simplify this expression? A plus B plus 2A plus B. How would you simplify the expression? How do you simplify this expression? The first things first, if you don't know how to proceed, you might as well collect or group the like terms together. That is what I would advise. As you can see, the first step there was to write the expression as it is. I've said to you, a plus b plus 2a plus plus b. So it's a plus b plus 2a plus b. Now thereafter, I've grouped the like terms together. So a plus 2a, they belong together because of a, the symbol a there. So it's the same group, and then b and b belong together as well. And thereafter, I will add a plus 2a. Remember, the coefficient of a is 1. So this is 1a plus 2a, and this will give you 3a. And of course, if you add b and b, you'll get 2b. All right, if you add a banana there and a banana, you get 2 bananas. So 2b is the answer there. So 3a plus 2b, that's how you simplify the SC. Can we now simplify the next one? Excuse me. Can we now simplify? Let's simplify the next one. 4a plus, let me just take it back to where we were. Right. Can we now simplify 4a plus 12, and then what else? And then plus 62a plus 6. Right, I hope that you can see Huapili, the screen is fine now. It should be, and then once again, all that you need to do is to collect or group the like terms together. So you'll group 14a together with 62a. And thereafter, you'll group the numbers together, or rather the constants. And then at this point, you need to now add the 14a plus 62a. Remember, 2 plus 4 gives you 6, and 6 plus 1 gives you 7. So you'll have 76a plus, if you add 12 to 6, you will definitely get 18. So the final answer will be 76. 76 a plus 18, right? That's how we proceed with that one. And then the next one, of course, was just the table. Just to complete the table, you had to copy and complete this table. And then I've given you the y value, which is 3x plus 2. So all that you need to do is to find the value of x, in fact, the value of y when x is negative 3. Let's find the first one quickly. Let's complete the table. If x is negative 3, then you are going to have y, which will be equal to negative 3, open bracket. In fact, it's positive 3. So it's positive 3, open bracket, negative 3, then you close your bracket, and then plus 2. So basically, this is what you'll have. And then negative 9. Remember, this is positive, by the way. So you'll have negative 9 plus 2. All right. And this will be equal to negative 7. Just check your sign. It will be negative 7. Double check your sign. And then you do the same with the second one there. Y as well will be equal to 3. Remember that 3 is positive, and then you multiply that with a negative number, and then plus 2. All right. And then 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. And that's negative 6 plus 2, which is negative 4. So you'll have negative 4 in the second one. And then the third one again is negative 1. So that will give you negative 1. It will give you negative 1. Junior, if you put -1 times 3, you get -3, and -3 plus 2 is -1. And then when x is 0, obviously if x is 0, there, then y will be equal to 2, because you just add. So if x is 1, Fizana, all that you need to do is to substitute. So if x is 1, y will be equal to 3 into 1, and then plus 2. And of course, 3 times 1 is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5, so it's 5. So if x is 2, 2 times 3 is 6, and then 6 plus 2 is 8. And the last one, 3 times 3 will be 9. That's why you get 11, Kwapele. Just as you, so I just thought we should demonstrate and go through the activity. So you will definitely get your answers or your results. We can talk about that if there are any issues, but I've noted some of the questions that you have been sending throughout the day yesterday, and I hope that they are addressed. We'll carry on tomorrow with our lesson. Once more, this lesson was brought to you by the STEM Digital School in partnership with the Sasol Foundation. Until we meet again tomorrow, thank you very much indeed.